Hello and welcome to Red Sports. I'm Gargi Raut and I'm joined by Boria Mujumdar, Trisha Ghoshal and Rohan Chaudhary. We're back to discuss about Vinesh Phogat's recent statements where she accused the IOA president of doing politics and not supporting her through her Olympic disqualification incident. Boria, I'd like to go to you first. Tell us about what you think. And of course, we have some pictures that you want to show. So I'll put them on the screen and of course you can take it forward.
Yeah, the first point is what did Vinesh say yesterday? Vinesh said that PT Usha had taken one photograph, it was posturing, and we just want to limit ourselves to that part of the comment now and then obviously carry it forward between Trisha, Rohan, and me. Firstly, all of us, and I speak on behalf of everybody present here, we are all fans of Vinesh Phogat, the athlete. Let us make that very, very clear to everyone. we are we are all in favor of Vinesh Phogat, the athlete. We were there in Paris supporting her through and through, and we will continue to support Vinesh Phogat, the athlete. And we have no political affiliation, no Congress party, no BJP, no nothing. Yesterday, an interview came to light where Vinesh was seen this photograph. Keep this on screen, Gargi, that PT Usha had gone there to meet her. Without her consent, a photo was taken. It was put out in the social media domain without Vinesh even knowing about it, and there was no conversation. She was very clear in that interview. If you see that clip, she is repeatedly saying कोई बातचीत नहीं हुआ, पीटी उषा वहां आए और उन्होंने एक फोटो लिया और फोटो सोशल मीडिया में डाल दिया गया. That is what she is saying. Now, is that part of the interview sort of holding ground? That does that cut the ice? For the first time, we did not want, I mean, these photographs have not been put out in the public domain. So we are putting out one by one in the public domain to try and understand that if it was all posturing on the part of PT Usha, if there was no conversation out there, if it was all done for social media purposes to take one photo and leave there without any further thing. Now, if you go one by one with the photographs, so clearly, as you can see, there are medical people, there is Usha, there are others, and in this photograph, you can clearly see there is some talk going on. There is the president with Vinesh Phogat. There is some talk going on. This is the, so there are many others present. It is not Usha clandestinely going there, taking one photograph and leaving, and just wanting to do some posturing. Look at this again. Another picture. There are medical people from the Paris medical this thing in the village hospital. PT Usha and Vinesh Phogat. Look at Vinesh Phogat's hand there, and you can understand. I will go to Trisha and Rohan on this. Go to the other pictures, and we'll keep playing them. Go to the other photos. Look at this now. This is from a distance. No, the previous photo. This is from a distance again. This is the village medical facility, the polyclinic. You can see there are other people present. Usha and Vinesh Phogat clearly having a conversation. It is not as if there was one picture taken just in a whiff and people leaving. Trisha, your first thoughts on seeing all of these photos?
It clearly shows that PT Usha and Vinesh Phogat are talking to each other. I mean, the claim, of course, was that Usha did not speak to her at all. This picture clearly shows they're talking to each other. I mean, even if for a second, let me accept for a second, I'm accepting that this picture, the picture that PT Usha had put out in her social media, was taken without informing Vinesh. But the point is, they are chatting. It's not like she went there, she took the picture, and she left, as Vinesh has claimed. It's unfortunate, as I had told you, that it's unfortunate that a sporting icon is resorting to such things. And again, for me, she'll always remain an icon, as Boria said. For all of us, she'll remain a sporting icon. And I would just hope that she's able to keep politics away from the sport and not take away from her own effort. Gargi, the unfortunate part here is I don't think PT Usha is losing a lot of pace, or she is not losing a lot of pace. The problem is Vinesh Phogat herself is making her cause, or the whole thing that she went through. She's lessening that effort of herself by resorting to these means, and I hope that she understands that, and she's guided better if by friends, probably Bajrang and Sakshi can speak to her, because they are closely knit thanks to the protest. So yeah.
Rohan?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. As you both mentioned, that I would want to say that it is very unfortunate and sad that this such things are coming up after so many days also of the Olympics. And again, athlete versus a federation clash is not something that we want to see every day. And even if I just imagine from a neutral perspective, just imagine if I want to go to someone's who is in medical under medical treatment, and I just want to go there out of formality. I would have some conversation and not just go there, stand and ask my friends to click some pictures and I leave. So out of normal basic formality also, I would have uh, something to say to the person who is under the medical treatment, console that person. So it's really sad that such things are coming up after so many days of the Olympics and all of a sudden. And I really hope that this gets resolved in a good way and not an ugly scenario comes up in this one, because in a federation versus athlete case, nothing good happens in the sporting ecosystem as a whole.
In
Yeah.
these photos, Trisha, Gargi, Rohan, I mean, don't you think, especially this was these photographs clearly speak of a possible conversation that's going on. I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
the president with her hand speaking to
These are
Vinesh
candid
Phogat, right?
pictures.
In
Yeah,
this
Rohan.
picture, Boryara, they are looking at each other. Why would they be looking at each other if you're not having a conversation like that?
Yeah,
It's
and these
it's
are
not
some
like
candid pictures.
one of them is Shah Rukh Khan and the other one is admiring or something of that sort. Uh,
And
it's
look at the
just like
faces. Look,
exactly,
because
both
we
of them
keep saying
are in
that pictures speak
conversation,
1,000 words.
and it can't be. I mean, even if the conversation is about Vinesh, how are you feeling? There was a conversation. Vinesh completely claimed that there was no conversation. And again, IOA
And this one,
probably,
1 second, this one, Trisha,
yeah.
keep this guy.
Mm.
Vinesh is actually, if you see the angle, she's looking into the camera.
And she's
You
smiling.
guys know
So she knows.
exactly. So you guys know better about photography. Look at this. Usha is looking at her, but she's actually got her gaze. If we are taking this angle from where the photograph was taken, did she not know that this was being clicked? Because we also
Also,
know
to
that
click
later on
from
she
this
had said,
angle,
"Don't take my photos." If you take
absolutely, and also,
Rajaraman, yeah, you go
sorry,
on.
yeah, to click from this, somebody should have their mobile up. The camera won't be there, but there will be a mobile up. So if Vinesh was not okay with photographs being taken in the hospital or whatever it is, then she should have said, "Are you taking a photograph? Are you like, because it's clearly visible? It's not like Boria. Somebody can take our photograph and we don't realize that the photograph is taken."
And it's not one. There are many different
Exactly.
photographs from different angles that are being clicked here. It's not one solitary clandestine photo. I've taken one and I've left there. There are multiple different pictures being clicked here. In fact, let me put this on record. When she left the village, Rajaraman, as press attache, wanted to click a few photos. She did not allow that, and it was respected. She did not allow that photographs to be clicked, and from what I understand and I know, that wish of hers was respected, and there was no photo taken. In this case, she is actually smiling into the camera. Now, my point is very clear. If she did not know, this is a photograph that clearly says she was aware that photos were being taken. It's a different matter altogether whether she was aware or not that these photos could be put out in the public domain by Usha or one picture. That PT Usha needs to come and clarify. But the fact that there was a conversation going on is conclusively proved by these photos. And that is where I have an issue, because Vinesh fought 3 outstanding bouts. Vinesh fought unbelievably well. Vinesh made the final on her own 2 feet and her credibility. So it is not on the IOA. And you take a look at this photograph, it is absolutely apparent that a conversation is going on. If she wants a political career, which she wants, she is welcome to it if she feels that that is a better career at this point in time. But to say that the Paris medal was lost because the IOA did not fight the case well is really not cutting the ice with me, and that is the cause of, because frankly, Trisha, the medal doesn't belong to Vinesh alone. It is India's medal. It is India's medal. To be told that two of our leading lawyers and the association which runs Olympic sport in India screwed up a medal and did not get us a possible gold medal means a world. I mean, come on, come on. And that is where my frustration stems from. That are we that political that we sacrificed a possible gold medal for the country, which we did not get? Which we did not get, and our campaign would have been lifted if Vinesh Phogat was able to get that gold medal. I want to make one point here, and that is Vinesh. I've done a piece as well today. Vinesh lost the medal because Vinesh was not able to make weight. Vinesh lost the medal because Vinesh and her support team, despite knowing every rule, was unfortunately not able to make the weight that was expected of her. Simple as that. PT Usha or anybody else to imply there was an act of sabotage on the part of the IOA is politics that is being played out, and that is where I have an issue here. I forever have supported Vinesh the athlete, but to suggest that IOA did not fight the case well and hence India lost the medal is not something that is going down well with me. Trisha, your thoughts?
I think, honestly, Vinesh has poured in a lot of emotions which has come out of something completely different. I feel probably she did not get all sorts of support coming into Paris, and that bitterness she has continued here as well, because probably IOA wasn't proactive in supporting her going to the CAS. I have no idea, because we do know that Vinesh Phogat went to CAS alone. It could also be a clear case of miscommunication between IOA and Vinesh. But to bring all that out right now in a very different way and try to portray a very different picture, that becomes a bit of a problem. Because, see, if somebody talks about a BCCI or an IOA, you're talking about an institute which is, holding that particular sport, or in this case, a number of sports. IOA is responsible for all Olympic sports. So, what is the message you are putting out for young people and people who are looking up to you? It's all going wrong. And when you look up to your heroes, Gargi, there is a famous saying: you should not meet your heroes because they end up disappointing you. Vinesh Phogat is a hero. And I can only hope that by actions also she remains so.
There's,
आगे तुम्हें क्या
there's
लगता है
one.
इस सब में? तुम खुद का रिएक्शन दो.
Yeah.
मैं पूछा कि what do you think in all this? You haven't said your.
Rohan, why are you speaking so softly? People are saying, why is Rohan so soft?
अरे I
I
think
think Rohan is still in Paris.
my
Rohan, be louder.
I think
He's
mic issue.
tired.
No, no. I just said, Gargi, you haven't said anything on this. Why don't
Yeah.
you give your opinion on this?
I think there are still, two sides to it. Of course, there's Vinesh's side. And see, when I look back on everything that happened, all the details that we got, because Rev Sports was there in Paris during the whole time, and Boria was giving us, continuous updates about whatever was happening from day one, about how the IOA protested, about the way that they went with this whole incident. I think there was nothing left to be done from IOA's side. So, Vinay saying that she did not receive a lot of support. I think that is somewhere untrue, because we all saw the way that everyone came forward and sort of fought for her, and the way that they welcomed her and always, put her, gave her a lot of respect, even though she did not bring back a medal. But we all loved her for the way that she fought and she was competing. But on the other side, I think at this point, the incident that she's talking about, the pictures, I think at that point she was so mentally, she was not there. She must have not been there because she had just
Mm.
been through a very traumatic thing, and she was physically also completely spent. So I think some things got misunderstood over there. I believe that that's what happened,
But
because there is no way you can see that she's having a conversation for sure with PT Usha. So to say that she did not say anything, I think that would be a little wrong. Maybe the whatever PT Usha said wasn't comforting enough for Vinesh. Maybe that was the case. Who knows? But at this point, we know IOA did everything in their power to get Vinesh that medal.
the only thing that is striking me is that this is all coming up after so many days, and after uh,
Yeah.
and and Vinesh
After she
was
has
the one.
joined the party.
I did not want to mention that, but since you mentioned, yes, that's the case.
Yeah.
Gargi, I think partly I agree with you when you said that there's a lot of misunderstanding. I feel there has always been this huge gap between IOA
Miscommunication.
and
Yeah.
Vinay for a number of reasons. But again, I completely go with what Rohan said, that why after so many days and why
Mm.
suddenly after you have joined the party.
Yeah.
Also about pictures, I did not know this part that Boria brought into light today about Rajaraman wanting to click pictures and her saying, uh, I don't want to click pictures, and that was respected. That will
I,
obviously be
I said
respected.
it, Trisha, because, and I'm putting it on record, I said it because I had asked Rajaram. When Vinesh left the village, it is very much within my rights as a media person to ask the media attache, and I did so, saying that did you take photos? If you did take photos, then give it to us, because, or put it in the media group, because Vinesh was an important athlete. We all were celebrating Vinesh. If you have taken photos of her leaving the village, give us those photos. And Rajaraman said, no, I wanted to. I asked her if I could take some photos, and she said, no, please don't click. So clearly there was message given by Vinesh to the Indian press attache that do not take photos. Do not take photos because I don't want it. But in this case, there are at least 6, 7 people there in the room. There was Usha, there was Dinshaw Padiwala, there were a couple of others from the Indian management. There are multiple, two, three, four medical people. So it's not as if Usha and Vinesh Phogat are alone in a room. One fellow takes one photograph and leaves quickly. This is not, look at this. Look at this. I mean, there is clearly a conversation going on. You can understand from these are all unseen photos from the polyclinic from that morning. We wanted to put these photographs out to clear it that none of us want bitterness as far as Indian sport is concerned. Congress versus BJP can be played out in another domain. As far as Rev Sports is concerned, we have nothing to do with it. We are not BJP, we are not Congress, we don't care as far as Indian sport is concerned. Our only interest is Indian sport. And that is why we backed Vinesh Phogat, the athlete. And we will continue to back Vinesh Phogat, the athlete. I still believe she fought the three best bouts of her life in Paris. And when I watched that Susaki bout and that final push of those 2 points, I'm like, wow, this is something incredible. But to then hear that, oh, I lost a medal, you did not lose a medal, Vinesh Phogat. India lost a medal. India lost a possible gold medal because you were brilliant there. But to say that I lost a medal because the IOA did not fight a case, come on, come on. You lost a medal because you did not make weight. You lost a medal because it was unfortunate, but the truth is you were 100 grams over. PT Usha or the IOA, however vindictive they can be, they were not responsible for that 50 kilos, 100 grams. They were not. So to imply that the IOA did, you mean to say Harish Salve underperformed as a lawyer? Vidush Singhania underperformed as a lawyer and were deliberately trying to sabotage your case in front of CAS? I don't know. I mean, I don't see any. Trisha, does it cut the ice that two lawyers, credible people, will underperform in front of CAS when India is online? Does that cut the ice with you?
If for a second I forget that India is online, it's about their career also. As a lawyer, as the two top lawyers, why would I want to lose a case? And ultimately, yes, if again, I'm saying just keep the medal aside. As lawyers also, it's their profession. Why would they want to lose the case? It's almost like saying that Vinesh herself did not want to win a match. It's the same thing. It's their profession, and they are the best because they do well. They are well known. They're very well known lawyers. You know, Gargi, as I was saying, the unfortunate part in all this is there's a bit of mistrust in athlete IO. I mean, it's always there. The athlete and the administration has that gap. People like Vinesh Phogat should actually bridge that gap and not make it wider for political interests. I mean, she can attack the other political parties on any other basis. It just doesn't matter to any of us, but not sport. Because Olympic sport, in fact, especially when now Olympic sport and Paralympic sport are taking steps forward, I think all this is bogus, and this has to stop. Honestly.
I like the way she said bogus.
Okay. Final thoughts
Buryada,
from everyone? Okay. Yes,
Buryada,
Rohan.
where do you think this story is headed?
You know, I am very clear. Vinesh joined politics because she finds a career there, not because of any other reason. She now knows that that is her career, and I wish her all the best as a politician who can bring in change. Because as a firebrand, she should bring in change. It's as simple as that. But to say that, oh, I was forced to join politics, I was forced to quit my profession as a wrestler because IOA was not backing me, doesn't work. Because that's bitterness coming out. That's kind of putting the blame on someone and getting a kind of sympathy vote. You don't need that, Vinesh Phogat. You're much better. I expect Vinesh Phogat to be a very good politician because she's capable of it. Where is this case headed? You will see more and more bitterness coming out ahead of the elections. Indian sport will
Yeah.
lose out. Whether Congress party benefits or BJP party benefits, I don't care. Nor am I bothered here. But what will happen is there will be a lot of mudslinging out in the public. People like us will get into it as sports media. It's our job. These photographs were not out there in the public domain till last night. We got hold of them. We had them. We put them out today. Why? Because there is a story out there. We had to do the story. It's our job. So there will be a lot of mudslinging. There will be a lot of mudslinging, and Indian sport will lose. Vinesh, the politician, might win. Congress party might win. BJP party might win. They might use this to portray Vinesh in a bad light. All that will happen. But Indian sport will lose. There's no question. Indian sport will lose. But that's where it is. That I mean, see, my point about the whole wrestling controversy, it was a serious issue. And I've written this many times in the past. The moment it got political, it lost sheen. It was a sports protest to start with. To start with. Then it turned political. And now it's acutely political. And now when people go back and say, oh, you know what? There was a political motive. And you're like, come on, it did not start as a political motive. It started as an important, very, very critical issue of sexual harassment by a certain section of people who are privileged and powerful. And all of a sudden, we have lost that. And people are talking complete nonsense, whether it is people in power or people on the other side. Where is Indian sport in all this? For somebody to say that, these people, I mean, what has happened is, we have once again sacrificed Indian wrestling at the altar of party politics. And that's extremely disappointing. You will see not one word coming out from another wrestler. Aman Sherawat. Is Aman speaking out? No. Is anyone else speaking out? No, because everyone knows that this is a bad drama being played out in the political domain. And you will see more of this. Jalna election is when? Haryana election is early October. So more and more interviews from Vinesh Phogat, more and more public rallies from Vinesh Phogat, more and more targeted attacks. These are part of political rallies, right? We all know that the political rhetoric in this country, whether it is BJP, whether it is Congress party, whether it is any party, is so toxic. Is so toxic. It's disgusting. It is disgusting as a civil society person. And by the way, every party, the kind of language these fellows use. The moment you become a politician, you cross that civil society line of dignity. It's personal, it's slander, it's everything. It's everything. I mean, and that is where you fear that what is the future of politics? I mean, what is the future of politics in this country? Is it this? Otherwise, all of us are political people, right? Each one. Trisha has her politics. Gargi has. You have. I have. I would have loved to come into politics and make a difference. I don't even think I'm capable because you can't do slander, and you have to do slander if you're an Indian politician. That's where it hurts me. That's where I think Vinesh Phogat, the athlete, is getting lost. I would have loved to see Vinesh Phogat fight one more time. The last fight is a 5-0, Rohan, 5-0 in an Olympic semi-final.
And she was brilliant. And she was
And she was brilliant.
brilliant. Oh, I, I mean, if I use the word brilliant, it seems like I'm using the wrong word. It was like a fantastic opera where a fantastic orchestra where everything just synced in, and she was brilliant. I think
Your piece
if
tomorrow
she had
11
to
a.m.
end her career there, end it there.
Your
Don't
piece
get that
tomorrow 11
sure.
a.m.
If you want to say something against the political party, sure, there's a lot of history there. Do that in politics. Honestly, when Vinesh joined politics, I was happy. I was like, there you go, a woman's voice. Because there are a lot of people saying that the wrestling controversy was also some party saga. I don't think so, and I think it was very important. I think it did some fantastic work. That wrestling strike, whatever it was, that did some great work for the youth. The first and foremost thing that it did was taught the youth not to keep quiet. Because yes, they did the strike, but nobody could stop a Vinesh or a Bajrang Punia from going back. And look at Vinesh, he participated in the Olympics. And, Raja sir, we were speaking about Raja sir, the coaches, they were like, Vinesh के सर पे एक ही भूत सवार है, इसको medal जीतना है. Somebody who has so much determination that she did win the silver medal. Whatever happened thereafter happened. The whole team of Vinesh Phogat failed. Did they do it intentionally? No. Nobody does it intentionally. Nobody does anything intentionally. But they failed. And people fail. It's okay. It's just okay. Everybody was supporting Vinesh. They still are. And from the political standpoint, if I have to say one line, I think Vinesh would have got more votes by not opening her mouth this way, to be honest.
It's simple, Rohan, simple. The fact is, if she today says, I tried everything, unfortunately, I was 100 grams over.
That's it.
Respect.
Uh,
That's it.
Respect. Don't say I was 100 grams over is not relevant here. I lost the medal because IOA wanted me to lose the medal. What are you talking about? IOA was not fighting out there. You mean to say PT Usha gave you the supplements? PT Usha asked you to eat. PT Usha asked you to hydrate. PT Usha asked you to do whatever. Come on, boss. You lost or you were disqualified because you were 100 over. All this case, etc., wouldn't even come. Wouldn't even come. Why case? And why was the case? You mean to say CAS was biased? You are saying the IOA fought the case wrongly, right? You also had your lawyers, some those French pro bono lawyers. And by the way, what was the sequence of argument? First Vinesh's lawyers, then the UWW, then the IOA, then the IOC. That was the argument. So Vinesh had her own lawyers also. It's not as if she was dependent on IOA lawyers alone. So you mean to say your lawyers also stood it up, or they were not good enough? Then why did you get them?
And in all this, Boria, we are losing the fact that Vinesh is not the only one who has been disqualified for weight. There have been a lot of
yeah,
wrestlers,
yeah.
boxers who have lost
From
out
Egypt, I
because of
think.
it.
No, the Japanese fellow who came out and said I was disqualified in Tokyo because I was 50 grams over. So you were disqualified because sadly you were 50 grams, 100 grams, 90 grams, whatever it was, you were over. That's all. That's it. I mean,
Yeah.
so we had to put these photographs. What was our job? Our job is not to vilify anyone, Usha or Vinesh. I don't
Exactly.
care. Either as Trisha or Rohan or Gargi. Our job was to put it out there saying, boss, hello. Don't blame Indian sport and don't say you lost a medal for the country because there was some IOA politics involved. No, that is not the case. The case is you botched up. You weren't able to bring your weight down to 50 kilos. Very well, no. You when you went in, you're an experienced wrestler of 15 years. You knew what it entailed. You knew I had to be under 50 kgs. And it is not as if you did not know the rule. You knew the rule that on day two I have to be under 50 kgs. You weren't able to do it for whatever reason. And I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying this is a fact. So say that. No. Say I tried my level best. This medal was for India. I fought my heart out. Unfortunately, I was 50 grams over. That's it. We will all take it and celebrate you as a winner. Don't come and tell me the IOA forced me to lose the medal. That's where you're going wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think with that, we can end the show. We've discussed everything that we possibly could and brought you guys the behind, not the behind the scenes, but the pictures that were not put out in the public domain, but now are. But thank you so much, Trisha, Boria, and Rohan for joining us. And yeah,
Before you end, a lot of people asked me yesterday, what about getting Vidush Singhania on the show for that Anwar Ali issue? Vidush Singhania and the Krira legal team, I've spoken to them yesterday also. They were supposed to do a show with us at 6 p.m. They said that they're actually waiting for the detailed order. So they've got the interim order on this matter from PSC. They are waiting for the detailed order. Once the detailed order is out there, which they expect will come very soon, they will 100% come on a show with us. So that is the message. They have got the interim order. They need to understand how the judgments were arrived at, which they are expecting will all be there in the detailed order. The moment the detailed order comes from PSC, we will absolutely get Vidush Singhania and the Krida legal team on a show here at Rev Sports in trying to understand how the PSC arrived at what it did. So there's no question that we will not get them, we will.
yep. And with that, thank you so much and stay tuned to Rev Sports. Have a good day, everyone.